I don't know about you, but these days we are bombarded with information about and yet another thing to make you more healthy, to make you more mindful, less stressed, in better shape, more wealthy, and the list goes on and on and on. It's all about the individual, the person, the ego. Look at yourself on your phone, do a selfie, look at yourself in the mirror, go deep inside and reflect on your deepest feelings and thoughts and emotions. This is the way to authenticity, to find who you are. That's the main narrative of society these days. And I am getting a little tired of this narrative, to be honest, because the more I look at myself in the mirror, the less I understand about myself. Maybe you're feeling the same. What if authenticity could be something, could be a quest, could be something you find through a different process? A process that instead of going inward actually goes outward. What if authenticity was the art of exploring who you are, but through the eyes of other people? That's a much more human path, much more ancestral path, because as human, we are not designed to live in isolation. We're designed to live in society and to interact with each other. So what if authenticity could be reached through creation, through expression? You know, since several years now, since around, I would say about the last decade, I mean, if I look at my career, I've always been creating things, but I have intensified my creative process and my level of creation in the recent years because I'm a creator. But everyone is creative. Everyone is a creator. And the more I do it, the more I find about who other people are, what they like, what they respond to. And as a piece of feedback, I discover more authentically what my true honest path is about. And that's really the essence of entrepreneurship. Creating something that delivers value for you, but that delivers mainly value to your market and your clients. It's about value creation. And you do value creation, right? I said I use the keyword here, value creation. So authenticity is really something that you find through self-expression. That's the power of of expression. That's the power of putting out your thoughts. Because when you put out your thoughts, when you put them on paper, on a video, on a digital screen, when you engage in the laborious work, in the effort of getting out things, if you're courageous enough to go beyond fear, go beyond the fear of judgment, the anxiety of being criticized, and mostly by yourself, by the way, because the first word, voice of doubt, very often, or almost always, comes from inside, the voice of doubt. If you're able to go beyond this, you will discover the practice of meaningfully creating something of value for others. And that feedback, that mirror effect, tells you who you are really, tells you what you care about, checks and gives you an opportunity to really make sure that you meant what you said, that you meant what you designed, that you meant what you painted or choreographed or talked about, whatever the medium is. I invite you to rethink the way we engage in the quest for authenticity, which is one of the biggest quests of our society these days. Finding who we are, changing, evolving, and getting a clear understanding of our identity. Identity, the search for identity used to be something that was less present. If you look in history, 100, 200, or thousands of years ago, who we were was defined by the celestial, the spirits, gods, religion, states then. But in recent years, you can be who you want to be. That's the main narrative. Now, I'm not against that. I think it's great. We evolve as species, we evolve as nations, we evolve as humans. But my point here is, how do we engage in that quest? Again, the more you look at yourself in the mirror, the more you will probably feel lost. Look around to find yourself, to find who you are, to find what you care for, what you value, and engage in interacting with others. You'll be a lot more joyful. The process will be so much easier. So when you do, for instance, market research, if you're designing and building a business, you will need to do what's called product market fit, which is you're designing a product or a service, and you're looking if this product or service matches what your market wants. Oftentimes, and that's a pattern I repeatedly see, and I was the first culprit. I will fall on my sword. I did this for so many years. I would wait, work, in a vacuum, make sure that with my team, with myself, we had the perfect product and idea until it was ready to be revealed. And we missed our product market fit, because what we were doing is that we thought authenticity was in our brain and our own hearts. Instead, what I discovered over the years is that the true value of something you create, a product or a service or whatever you create, comes from interacting with the outside. That's why I look at a business from an internal standpoint and an external standpoint, and an individual standpoint and a collective standpoint. If you have those two-dimension cross, you obtain 4 quadrants. That's the basis. That's the basis for strategic narrative. The methodology that I created for you. Look it up. I have lots of videos on this topic, and I'll post a link here below for you to help you find it. That's why I think about this. I think about internal versus external all the time, because those are the 2 dimensions, and individual, collective, those are the 2 dimensions that help you figure out how to create your business from an authentic standpoint. There is no authenticity in a vacuum. There is no authenticity in overthinking. And a lot of people claim to be authentic, claim, they want to be who they are, show up in their jammies in front of you, or with whatever appearance or whatever. And that's great if you realize that this is truly who you are, if you feel comfortable in front of others, and if others feel comfortable with you. But maybe authenticity comes from another perspective, like I said, from another process, which is a lot less about self-development, but collaborative development. It's a balance, right? Authenticity is not just about introspection. It's about action. It's about engagement. It's about collective problem resolutions. In fact, I wrote in my journal this morning, authenticity through action, not just introspection. Introspection is good, but it's not the only way to find who you are. Once in a while, I will practice what I call inner narrative reframing. That's the number 1 practice, in fact, that I developed in the MetaHelm strategic narrative methodology. And it's a great one. It's a key one, because without managing this voice internally, you will run into hurdles, as you and difficulties and challenges as you build a business. And without the proper inner narrative, you can get stuck. So it's the number 1 practice. But notice how it's only one of the 12 practices in my methodology. My approach has 11 other ways to interact with others and really find who you are as a leader, what your business stands for, the calling of your business, product market fit, your mission, your vision, your pricing, your offers, filling your business with ideal rosters of client, because you will dare to also engage in expression, getting those thoughts out, getting those ideas, getting feedback, listening first before you respond, and really getting into that interactive and interaction mode. That's how you go about authenticity, in my opinion. I brought this idea in front of you today because I've been reflecting a lot on authenticity, about authenticity these days, and I think that more and more that's that's the purpose of MetaHelm and strategic narrative, is to help you build an authentic business, a business with which you are in full harmony, and business with which um, you create wealth, a successful business that you also love. That's why I say a successful business that you also love. And as I share this idea with you, I, I can't stop but think about where it comes from. It comes from the fact that I started in consulting 32 years ago, and authenticity was one of the values that in consulting uh, people could care less about. But in the 90s and the early 2000s, it became one of the biggest buzzwords, biggest things. Let's be authentic, let's be real, let's be honest, which to me was a sign that we were not authentic in that industry, but we were craving for it. Because as Brad Yates says, I love that quote, the extent to which you say you want something is the extent to which you resist it. So in that industry, authenticity was really something that we crave, and it still is today. Who doesn't want to build an authentic business? Who doesn't want to be a genuine consultant, coach, trainer, engineer? Who doesn't want to be who they are meant to be, who they really want to be, who they aspire? Everyone wants to be authentic. But the problem is that we're too focused on our individual self, and we've lost the ancient ancestral ways to find who we are. So I'll let you think about this. How could you, and I have a question for you. How do you think you can reclaim your own authenticity through those ways and methods of expression, through your own creative process, through creation, through engaging with others, to find who you are, to really find yourself and confront your ideas, get feedback, and really see where you are positioned in your own journey through entrepreneurship and in your own personal legend. Again, my story about authenticity started with, I think, a lot of inauthenticity, or I don't know if this exists in English, but I started in consulting, and it was not at all about authenticity, let me tell you, in the 90s. And then over time became an aspiration. I think still today, and I look at especially large firms who come from that era, there is still a lot of bullshit. There is still a lot of smoke. There is still a lot of lies. But there is also aspiration for more dignity, more humanity, diversity, and respect for who people are. At least these are the words that some of the bigger brands, usually some of the bigger brands, express. If you run a small business, if you are a solopreneur, or if you run a small agency, you have a unique opportunity to press and push the reset button before your company grows, and build that firm that you aspire to that you want to build, that you want to grow from the foundation of authenticity. Now is the time to ask yourself the right questions. Who do we want to be? Who are we? Who am I? Who do I want to become? What's my narrative? What's my authentic narrative? And for this, I invite you once again to engage with the world, not just through interaction. I mean, in this video, I really emphasized on interaction with others. I talked about product market fit. I talked about interacting with your audience, but engage with the world outside. Go walk in nature. Go exercise. Go breathe fresh air. Go discover a place you've never been before, even if it's just around the corner. You don't have to take a big trip very far away, or use an airplane. You can just walk around the corner, or go visit a garden, go visit a piece of a forest that you always drove by, but use your curiosity, because really it's through looking at the possibilities that you will find yourself, that you will discover where life wants to emerge. Um, all right, I hope this video helps you. I hope this video gives you food for thought too, and that it represents who you feel, who you are, what you're aspiring to, and what you're aspiring to be. Thank you.